Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing with you my wisdom of 6+ years going to conventions and showing you what is like must brings for me. For those of you who don't know, what I mean by conventions are like general interest conventions that are like for fandoms and things like that. The ones I go to every year are DragonCon and MomoCon, and they're both held here in Atlanta. And MomoCon is actually this weekend, which I'm going to. So let's get to it. First off, a good place to start is the bag, where you're going to be putting everything. And I have this one because it goes with the cosplay that I'm doing, Misty from Pokemon. And so she has a red backpack that's like a string backpack, so I have this one. And this is why I just keep everything in that I need for the whole weekend. So first off, which I think is one of the more important things, is a little bit of cash, because a lot of the places there don't take card, and especially like the vendors or something. So if you want to buy, something from an actual local artist or something, typically a lot of them don't take card. Some of them will have the little square thing, but there are so many vendors and little things around that just take only cash. So I have a little bit of money, a few dollars. Also, it's easier to travel with some like paper money than it is to do a card, because this you can just literally just tuck in your bra or your top, or like the waistband of your pants or something if you're a dude. The next most important thing is a good power bank for your phone, because phones die so quickly during conventions because of there's just a bunch of people, and you're on your phone, you're on social media, and in some cases you're taking your pictures with it and taking your videos with it, so they die really quickly. Also, you can get like separated from your friends. It's hard to find each other, so you really need to make sure your phone's charged. And so I have this one. I really love this one. Which one is this one? So like a My Charge. I don't know. It's so old that most of the writing's scratched off. And it's good because I like it because it doesn't have an extra cord. It's literally just, it's right there. And so I don't have to bring anything extra, so it doesn't take up so much room. And like it just plugs in like that. So whenever I'm like just taking like a quick sitting break or I'm in line, I can quickly just plug it in and charge it up some. So that goes in there. On the topic of phones, I also make sure I bring a good phone case. Now, for some people that means like an OtterBox, where like when they drop their phone, it won't break. But for me, it's this little cheap one I got that has this little hook that goes on a lanyard. So I can wear it around my neck, clip my phone on, and then I'm good. And I can just wear it around my neck. It's a little silly looking, but hey, I'm not dropping my phone. So that's why I usually have it on. Right now my phone is in this one right here, my Sailor Moon one, but I will take it out when it's time for me to go to Saturday. Now also it's fair to note that a lot of these things that I take are things that have made going to conventions more enjoyable for me. And so how I like to do things and how I like to con. Like for example, I'm not as big into costuming as like say my husband. So when he goes out, he makes sure he has super glue with him, he has safety pins, he has anything you think of just in case something messes up on his costume or on his cosplay or something, so he can fix it really quickly and not have to go all the way back to either our hotel room or, in this case, this year, all the way back to our apartment. So that would also be something else that would, be a necessity to put in your bag. But my cosplay this year is just Misty from Pokemon. So it's really not a lot of bells and whistles, so it's fine. I will bring safety pins, so I do need to find some safety pins to put in there though, just in case. You just never know. But how I like to go to conventions and do conventions is I like going to panels. So I bring a little notebook and pen with me. And I have this really cute one with Snorlax on it. I love it. And a little pen that's hooked right there. And it's because I like going to panels where I take notes or something, or write down people's information because I'm meeting people, and I got tired of carrying around a bunch of business cards. So I just write down everyone's information in this notebook or something. Instead, One year, or the first, actually no, the first few years, what I did was I took notes on my phone, but it just kind of looks like to everyone else that you're like texting or you're like doing stuff on your phone while they're talking, and that just seems a little rude. Not to mention, one year I had written all the notes up in the notes on my phone, and something happened, and like all of them got deleted. And I was just so upset. It was all the notes for my entire weekend were just gone, and I didn't have any way to back them up because I didn't bring my laptop with me. And so I was like, I was just out of luck. So now I always bring a notebook with me. Another thing I always make sure I have is a thing of Gatorade. Because also, once again, to me personally, I have low blood pressure, so I have to drink a certain amount of Gatorade to keep my blood pressure up a little bit. I know it's a weird thing, but that's what I have to do. So I bring a small thing of Gatorade, and then I drink it all. Once I drink it all throughout the day, and then I fill it with water from like the bathroom or a water fountain or something. Because water bottles and like drinks and stuff at the conventions are usually marked up, and I just don't want to spend that much money on a bottled water. So I just bring one and reuse it. I also have just like a normal water bottle, like a reusable one, but it's a little clunky, it's a little heavy, and I'm trying to keep everything I'm carrying as small and as light as possible. So that's why it's the smaller thing of Gatorade and not one of the like bigger ones. Also in that vein, I also make sure I have like a meal replacement bar or two, because you just never know when you're gonna really have time to stop and eat. Also, conventions are kind of like all day and into the early next morning kind of event. And so a lot of times you're doing stuff, you're go, 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 go. And then when you finally have time to stop to eat, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And you're like, oh, I'm hungry, but all the restaurants are closed. What do I do? So I always bring a few of these with me, because also you can eat them while you're like in line or something like that. But also, I hadn't had this issue really, but I've heard of other people having it, where some conventions don't allow you to bring in a lot of food or any drink or anything like that, but they're usually fine with just like a bar. Like you can't like bring in like a few sandwiches or anything big like that. I also always bring a little compact mirror, because this is also good for if your way of doing a convention is going and doing the meet and greets and getting your picture taken with celebrities and stuff that are there. I personally don't do that because I don't want to wait around the whole time, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem worth it to me personally. But as what a lot of people do. One of the ones that has one of these little sponges in it, so you don't have to bring a brush or anything. So just so you can touch up your makeup, because also, like for me personally, I'm in a costume usually, and people want pictures, and I want to make sure I look good for the picture. And also, I have like a little bag that has all the little things in it, so they don't get lost in my bag, and so I'm not spending a whole long time looking for stuff. I have this one that my mother-in-law gave me that I like to use, and it just has all the small things I like keeping in there. Like, you never know when you're going to be waiting in line outside, and so I like to bring a hair tie with me. And then, once again, you don't know when you're waiting outside, and so you want to bring a little bit of perfume or deodorant with you, because also, you're out all day, and so you can get a little smelly. It's not the greatest thing to have to talk about, but it happens. And so you can bring like a little perfume or a little mini deodorant thing. I do have a little mini deodorant thing, but I left it in my car and it melted, so I had to get a new one. And then once again, because you're outside, or you could be outside, chapstick, because you're out all day, like now. And then a little bit of concealer, just a touch up, just so you don't have to bring like a whole thing of foundation to touch up your face. You can just bring in a little bit of concealer. Like, my thing is my under eyes, because of like my mascara and like eyeshadow will just start kind of like just to melt off my face after a few hours, because you're go all day, or at least I am anyway. And so you're there from like 8 a.m. and you're there until like 1 or 2, sometimes even later than that. And makeup is just not meant to last that long. And sometimes you got to help it a little bit with a little bit of concealer in your bag. Then also, because there's just so many people, I like to bring hand sanitizer with me. I like the ones from Bath and Body Works. I like the men ones because they have a little less scent to them. Because I feel like with a little bit of perfume or deodorant or whatever, and then there's the overpowering smell of the hand sanitizers from Bath and Body Works can just be a bit much. So I like the men ones. This is the last thing that's in there is this little Bluetooth remote for my phone to take pictures, take selfies, because I used to bring like my big DSLR camera, the one I like actually used for like my photography work, but it was so big and bulky, and not to mention, you know, I need it for my livelihood, and so I was a little protective of it, and so it was just cumbersome to bring. I think I brought it maybe twice to a convention to take pictures and stuff, and then it was more work than I felt like it was necessary, and I felt like it was keeping me from fully enjoying my time at the convention because I was having to worry about it, and it was so heavy and all that. So I don't bring that anymore. Instead, I just bring my phone, and I have one of these, and then I have one of these. It was just a small little Gorilla Pod with a phone tripod attachment on the top, so I can just quickly set this up and take a selfie or take a picture real quick if I need to. The first few years that I went to a convention, I didn't get any decent photos of me in my costume or my cosplay, and that's just really upsetting for me because I'm just like, I spent all this time, it's money and effort to make this costume, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's something that I'm really passionate about, and you know, enjoy any photos from it. And so I like to bring the little tripod and the little selfie timer remote thing just so I can make sure that I get, you know, some fun photos of me. Because as a photographer, I'm just always the one behind the camera and never the one in front of it. So sometimes I like having a way to take pictures of myself. Other than, you know, the typical, you know, selfie like that. But there are, you know, little small point and shoot cameras you can bring that still do really well. I personally don't have one. I used to have one, but I gave it to my little sister for her to take the count. So I don't actually have it on me anymore. And this is the first year actually that I'll be having my GoPro with me because we just got that for one of our wedding gifts, which is actually what I record all my YouTube videos on now. So I can't actually show it to you because it is being used currently to film this. But I will be bringing it with me, and it comes like on a little tripod thing. So I will be using it because I do want to try and vlog or my day at the convention. So I will be bringing that with me. And if you don't know, GoPros are pretty small. They're like that big. It's not gonna be a big deal to bring it all, and they're really small and light, unlike my huge DSLR that I used to bring. So that's the end of my video where I share with you my convention wisdom that I've gained over the years. If there's something that you personally bring with you when you go to a convention or a con or whatever that I didn't list in my bag, please let me know in the comments because I'm always looking for ways to improve my con experience. So if you like that video, please like and comment. If you want to see more like it, please hit that subscribe button. Bye!